Broussard on first down. Running out of time. There's no flag for a holding. Oh, what a catch by Kendrick. Down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 17. How did he hold on?
It's the best rivalry in the country.
I think it's the best in Texas.
Carson Wallace in motion. Bounces off of his hand. Crippen has to fall on top of it at the 41.
Probably the best rival game in the state of Texas.
The fans get into it more than the players.
There's nothing like it in high school football.
Try to tear the goalpost down.
On second down and 11. Broussard fires. Caught! Fusilier! Touchdown! Nederland! 34 yards!
Actually, my dad would have been 100 years old this year. And so it's that kind of connection, you know. It makes you, of course, it makes you realize what a tremendous rivalry it is and how long they've been playing. Not only football, but Port Neches and Nederland have been playing against each other. So it makes me feel great that we're still a part of it, really.
The great things about Nederland, no head coach owns. Not even the great bum Phillips, who was at one time. I think if he was still alive, he'd probably admit that Nederland's a pretty special place. I always felt like it was. I didn't grow up in Nederland, but I wished I would have. It was the kind of place that had a background, a history, storied history, and the kind of teams, great teams in the past that you wanted to kind of have again, you know. So I was enthused about the opportunity to be here because of the history of the place.
I mean, I'm so proud of him, you know, and what he meant to both schools. I mean, he loved high school football, and like I say, he coached in Nederland, went to the state championship, coached in Port Neches, and those two places were, I think he loved the most.
The fans get into it more than the players. The players are focused on what their job is and getting prepared. But fans go wild. I know they've added a drumline competition. It's just both communities love their teams, and it's just a wild week.
I played at Port Neches, but I certainly have friends at Nederland, so it's always a friendly rivalry. I mean, everybody gets up for the game and so excited about the game, and it means a whole lot to everybody in both communities.
Having coached in 7 different places in my career, Nederland being the longest, we had rivals in those other places. I think the biggest difference is the quality of divisiveness within the communities. I mean, there's a railroad track that separates us. Mm-hmm. A lot of rivalries don't have proximity like that. People work together day in and day out. A lot of rivalries don't have that.
I have friends that I graduated from high school with that have had kids that went to P&G, and they cheered for them, and when it comes to that week, no friends.
The P&G game, we always approached with a heartbeat all of its own. We didn't even attempt to make it like another game. Well, it's certainly not just another game in this storied series, because if not, it's probably the best rival game in the state of Texas. Not many of them that have the history of Mid-County Madness.
It's not a normal game, so we didn't try to get too high. We weren't emotional early in the week. It was just trying to get business as usual and get prepared, but making it clear to the kids that this was not a normal game.
Me personally, my first year in 1993, we played them over there. It was my first head coaching experience of the Indian War, the Port Neches Grove rival game. And we won that game, and I can remember looking over on the track, and my wife, who has supported me throughout my career, was over on it. She certainly knew how big a game it was. And in the celebration, I looked over on the track, she had tears coming down her eyes, and I knew that it meant a lot to her, which it meant a lot to me and all the players and community and everything, but it was a personal note on that first one where it was kind of like, well, we did it, you know. So still kind of brings a little sentimental to me.
I was coaching the secondary back in the early 80s, and we defeated Port Neches for the first time over a 20-year span. There were ties, but mostly losses, and it was a rough time for us, but we won in either 83 or 84 in the fall. And our fans stormed the field, tried to tear the goalpost down. It was a surreal moment for me.
To get the feeling that when this game starts, that feeling is unbelievable. I've never been around. I've been around a lot of. I've been in a Super Bowl, you know, and it's just as exciting. It really is. And when those two teams come out on the field and the fans are both sides are going crazy, it's just there's nothing better than that.
Look, this is a rival game, and in rival games, anything goes.
Almost every game that I coached in came down to, against Port Neches, came down to the last play of the game.
Respect for one another and a pride kind of in one another, but when that game, when the game started, when that ball was kicked off, it was animosity toward one another until the game was over.
I think it's the best in Texas, no doubt about that.
There's nothing like it in high school football anywhere in the country, not just Texas, but anywhere in the country. That the game it's the best rivalry in Texas, and as far as I'm concerned, because I've been in a lot of states, it's the best rivalry in the country.